I feel bad for Penn State fans. It's just the same thing every year. And Penn State fans, you guys don't quit. You're loyal. You've been through a lot on and off the field these last 20 years, and you haven't wavered. But Penn State fans, I have an unfortunate reality for you. The better team won today. Better team won. Oregon, 424 yards. Penn State, 276. Oregon had 20 first downs. Penn State had 15. Oregon had more yards per carry and more yards per pass. They won this game in about every facet. And this is especially frustrating for Penn State fans because it's the same issues for Penn State that we've always talked about for the last 10 years. They came out flat. They didn't have a single drive for this game over 40 yards until the fourth quarter. Not one. It took, and there were signs coming into the game. It took 2 halves of football for Penn State to put away Villanova, and then it was the same thing for FIU. They struggled to run the ball against Nevada. I don't know why this offense looks as flat as it does because this wasn't the case last year, but it does, and there's no denying it. Here's the stat that solely defines this game. Plays over 20 yards on Saturday night in Happy Valley. Oregon had 8. Penn State had 1. One play. It was a pretty awesome play. That Drew Aller 35-yard touchdown was great. Was this just a one-time thing or is this a theme? No, it's a theme. Penn State right now is 114th in the FBS in 20-plus yard plays. Oregon is second. I thought these issues were dwindling after what I saw from last year. Penn State was 9th in the FBS in total plays of 20 yards or more. Seemed like they picked that up. I can't figure out why this offense isn't explosive at all. Was Tyler Warren just that good? Was losing Harrison Wallace that crucial? Another thing, Drew Aller was under pressure on 14 of 31 of his dropbacks. This O-line for Penn State got kind of beat up. What about Dante Moore? 11 of 45. Under 25% of the time. Drew Aller was at nearly 50. Dante Moore wasn't sacked a single time. This ferocious front seven we've talked about for Penn State was utterly a no-show. Oregon ran the football really well too. And James Franklin, because I've been vocal, I've been a Franklin defender on this show. Well, this one sucks for that narrative. I ain't going to deny that. He's not going to get credit for this for the national media. This was great coaching by Penn State to even get this game into overtime. Not sure if y'all paid attention to this, but fourth quarter, from 7 minutes and 30 seconds to 30 seconds literally left in the game, making Oregon burn all 3 of their timeouts, Penn State kept the ball. And that is excellent coaching. Excellent coaching. Where he was able to completely control the time of possession because I think he knew, all right, we're not looking explosive right now. We don't want Oregon to get that ball back. We're going to just run that clock out, and we're going to play some authentic, true Big Ten football. And, hey, that was impressive. That was some good coaching there by James Franklin. But it's the same flaws. It's the same exact flaws. And James Franklin will be the first one to tell you that. And one of the other reasons why this is especially hard for Penn State, and I don't want to look too far ahead, is because Drew Aller, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, A.J. Harris, Denai Dennis Sutton, Zakee Wheatley, Zane Durant, and Drew Shelton, probably all of Penn State's best players, some of them came back, could have been high draft picks, are gone after this year to the NFL. And so You look at the James Franklin narrative, and you ask yourself, what direction is Penn State headed after this year? Is it a north direction? Or is it a south direction? Is this going to be a rebuild next year? A new regime, pretty much? Because you look at how Penn State's been recruiting at a good level, not quite an elite level, where they're like Ohio State or Georgia or Bama, where they can just retool year after year after year. Not sure if it's like that. And I hate it for them. But there's a chance if Penn State doesn't hit that second gear like people in Happy Valley have been craving, that James Franklin might be out the door. And there might be an entirely new regime in Happy Valley. We don't know yet. There's a lot of season left. Again, observations, not conclusions. The observation is that Penn State looks really, really, really flat right now. And they absolutely have to win games a certain way right now. Because do they have a receiver? It's the same question, and I'm going to sound like every talking head in the college football media. Do they have a receiver that can genuinely beat you downfield and get some explosives? Because right now, against Oregon, it didn't look like it. And heck, against Villanova and FIU, it really didn't look like it either, which is concerning. And they have at Iowa. Iowa's not too shabby, by the way. But they have at Ohio State and Indiana at home. They must go 3-1 in that stretch, or James Franklin will not be the head coach in Happy Valley next year. I hate to say it. I don't like it coming at coaches saying he should be fired, blah, blah, blah. I think they get enough of that in this society. But I have to state the facts. And Penn State absolutely must go 3-1 in that stretch. And they are going to be playing against a more talented team in Ohio State that has the weapons to be explosive, and Indiana, which looks like the most explosive team in the sport right now. Do they have the firepower? Hell of a win for Oregon. In other notes, Dan Lanning came to coach. Dante Moore played well. That run game played great. That offensive line won them this game. They set the tone at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely set the tone. And Oregon was the better team. They went and taunted that section. Section didn't like it. Sorry. Oregon was the better team. And it's a great, yet again, another great win for Dan Lanning. And James Franklin falls yet again in the big game.